Hi guys, thank you for joining me today. This is the compost bin that I added worms to 3 weeks ago. I've decided to add some more worms to it, so this dark pile that you see here has worms in it, and I decided to put it with the others. I also have another bucket with the hatchlings that remain and the residue that remained from sifting some castings last week, so I'm going to be adding that as well. So here it is. It contains a lot of hatchlings, so I'm going to be adding this, and I'm just going to turn it out in there. They will find their way around. It's difficult to get out all the worms, so I'm just going to hose it down. That will not harm the worms. Turn it out in there. And then I'm going to really soak down this bed. A lot of times you wet the compost, and when you go through and turn it, you don't see a lot of the areas wet. So it requires a good amount of water to ensure that most, if not all, of the compost is wet. And when I first bought my worms a few years ago, and the lady was putting the worms in the bin, in this bin, she wetted it down for a very long time before she actually put the worms in there, even though the bin was already wet. So this is how I care for my worm bin. I make sure that I give it a good wetting. I am not concerned about the amount of moisture I put in this type of worm bin, because as you can see from the sides, the water can run out quite easily. The bottom of this is concrete. When I just started, it was just soil, but I decided to make it concrete because it is underneath this tree, and what I find is that it's a very fat one. What I find is that the roots are growing up into the soil, up into the compost, and eating out the nutrients. And when I'm trying to harvest the material as well, it is difficult to harvest because I have to be dealing with the roots in it. So last fall, after I've harvested everything out, I went through and concreted the bottom of 2 of them, and the bin that stores the finished compost, I have plastic on the bottom, so that one has not been concreted yet. I will get to it eventually. And I can feel that it is starting to rain. Out of the blue. Now that I am adding more worms here, I will definitely have to cover it over because the birds like to go there to feed. Okay, I think that's enough water. I can see the water running down on the ground now. So I'm just going to give this one a little whiff. I don't know how much rain we're going to be getting, so I'll just wet this down a bit. Baby, go inside. I'm not going to be wetting these down as much as I did with the ones that has the worms in it. Although I put the worms in just one location, they are going to be spreading out all over the worm bin because there is a lot of space and far more food than they can handle in a short period of time. So they're going to be spreading out and they're going to be multiplying at a much faster rate because they have so much space and because they have so much food. And that is the whole idea why I put the worms in that big bin, because as you know, during the winter the worms do slow down even when you have them in an heated area. I don't know if they can sense the barometric pressure, but for some reason they slow down even when you put them in a warm environment. And that is the reason why I want to ensure that during the summer they produce as much as possible to increase their population. That way, even though they are slowing down because I have a lot of them, then they will be producing more castings even if they're eating slower. And I want to be able to amend my garden next year, not just to add nutrients but to amend the soil. I would like to see it a bit more loose, so I need to produce far more castings. Over the fall this year, over the winter last year into this year, I produced 27 gallons of castings, and that is nowhere nearly enough for what I want, because my garden is not small. I have over 500 square foot. Well, it is small, but for a city garden it is a very big one. So I have to make sure that I have a lot of castings for that. The good thing is that the raised bed areas, they don't need to be amended because it is made up of a lasagna style of compost and soil, and then occasional worm casting. So I'm not worried about the raised beds, but the other areas need to be amended. I'm just going to wet down this raised bed, not raised bed, but this worm bin as well. This is my tiered worm bin, the upper layer. So I'm just going to wet them down because I have them covered a lot of times when it rains. It does not get as much water, so I have to make sure that I water it, and I water pretty much every week, once per week in general, but for days when it is extremely hot, and for Saskatchewan, daylight starts in the summer, spring to summer, from 4 until 10 at night. So it's a lot of sunlight, which means a lot of drying out of the worm bin. So I have to make sure that I water them regularly. So sometimes I water them twice for the week. Child, I thought I sent you inside. It stopped raining anyway, so it's fine. But you need to listen to me. It's okay, you can stay because it stopped raining. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so, and turn on your notification. And I hope you have yourself a wonderful day.